Both these guys are outstanding young fighters.
Here's Michael C. Williams.
Bellator MMA Live on DAZN now presents a featherweight feature fight set for 3 5-minute rounds. We introduce the blue corner at 5'11", weighing in 145.4 pounds. His professional record undefeated, 12 victories, no defeats. Originally from Augere, Hungary, he fights out of Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Ádám, the Kid Borics. And across the cage, his adversary out of the red corner at 5'8", weighing in 145.4 pounds. As a professional, 4 victories, 2 defeats. Now training out of Albuquerque, New Mexico. He hails from Whittier, California, Pico. And the referee in charge, Dan Mergliano.
You ready, sir? You ready, sir? Let's go fight.
Referee is Dan Mergliano. Bell goes to begin round 1 in this featherweight fight, and Aaron Pico in the red gloves, switching from the Body Shop to Jackson Wink MMA. Ádám, the Kid Borics, he's 3-0 in Bellator with 1 knockout and 2 submissions, including a highlight reel flying knee knockout at Bellator 196 against Theodore Nikolov in April of 2018. So, as hyped as Pico's been, Ádám Borics is as good a prospect as they come.
Oh, he's outstanding, but what we're seeing right now is what we have all talked about with Aaron Pico. Look at you. Came from the wrestling game. You have an outstanding stand-up game. You have heavy hands. But in the wrestling game, if you can take the fighter off of their feet and take away that kinetic energy, they don't have the ability to knock you out. So why take the chance of being in a 50-50 situation and allowing your opponent to hurt you when you can do the damage from the top position?
Borics, 12-0 with 2 knockouts, 6 submissions. His background isn't Thai boxing and karate, but has had success on the mat. But he is in again against a prodigy when it comes to all aspects of martial arts. And there's Pico picking up Borics and slamming him down. Borics in the closed guard. So he's been listening, Pico, and going back to his wrestling roots.
Sometimes when you get a guy like Greg Jackson that finally says, all right, look, this is what I need from you. I need you to do this. This is part of our plan. And now at least we see that Aaron Pico is listening. He's doing these things. You don't have to win the fight in the first minute. It's a long fight. You have 15 minutes to win this fight. So why put yourself in a position where you can be hurt? Put your opponent where you know you can do damage and he can't hurt you.
Pico looking to exercise the demon of his professional MMA debut here at Madison Square Garden when he was submitted by Zach Freeman in just 24 seconds. And of course, coming off the loss to Henry Corrales at Bellator 214 in January, had Corrales down, but again, went the striking route and ended up getting caught.
Exactly. Beautiful job by lacing the legs on Pico, but he's going to end up having a hard time keeping Ádám Borics down. Ádám Borics is a complete mixed martial artist. His wrestling is good. It's not as good as Aaron Pico's, but it's good. And with the use of the cage, Ádám Borics is very good at getting up.
Just past the midway point of the first round. And there's that low kick to the outside of Pico's lead leg, and Pico changes levels again, hoists Borics up and takes him down again. Second takedown executed by Pico here in the first frame.
Those are more takedowns in this first frame than he's had his entire career, Moro. And that's important because look at the guy he's facing here. Ádám Borics is undefeated as a professional. He was undefeated in his amateur career at 10-0, and he's undefeated as a Thai kickboxer at 10-0.
The legendary late boxing trainer Emmanuel Stewart said it best, knockouts sell. And believe me, Aaron Pico's 4 knockouts of the highlight reel variety, but he was one of the most hyped prospects in MMA history because of his diversity, because of what he was able to do in all facets, but his real skill set in the beginnings wrestling.
Oh, and it's not only on top of that, Aaron Pico is one of the hardest workers you're going to find in the gym. He is in incredible condition, and he can wrestle all day long. So he's not going to get tired doing this. Normally when I'm sitting there saying when you're picking a guy up, you're taking a lot of energy out. I don't worry about that with Aaron Pico. I know he can do that without any question, continuing to do it not only for 3 rounds, but also 5.
Looking to reverse, but Pico, there's the attempt by Borics here to...
Pico needs to get his head up and out high.
And Pico telling us that it's all about his pressure, his gas tank. And there again, another, well, Borics giving up his back here, the waist lock by Pico.
But what you're seeing is Borics is having a very hard time in developing any type of offense to deal with what Aaron Pico is doing. Aaron keeps putting him in bad positions, and he's having to defend and try to get out.
Oh,
they're not getting hit, you're not getting hurt.
And Borics back to his feet. He trains at Hard Knocks 365 under Henry Hooft out of Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Final 15 seconds of the opening round. Pico's wrestling has told the story in this first 5 minutes. And there's a right hand by Pico. Changes levels again, but this time thwarted by Borics.
Yeah. Have a seat. Have a seat. Perfect. Whoa. Good breath. Let's get that heart rate low.
Aha! All right, now, big breath.
Here's those takedowns by Aaron Pico. This is what he has not done throughout his career as a mixed martial artist. Now he's utilizing that wrestling skill that has gotten him so far, taking him all the way to the point of the Olympic team, just 1 match away. He has incredible wrestling skills. By utilizing him, not only is he keeping himself safe, but you can see more of the one thing that he's starting to do is he's wearing down the arms of Ádám Borics.
Work your way in, ready, counter. Beautiful work, brother.
Hey, let's do another great move.
Your unofficial scorecard reads after the first 5 minutes.
Let's go, Joe.
Both guys fighting hard, but definitely 10-9 for Aaron Pico.
This is round number 2. Pico in the red gloves, Borics in the blue gloves. Pico looking to rebound from his second loss again, changes levels, secures the takedown on Borics, who is undefeated at 12-0, including 3 wins under the Bellator banner. All of Pico's fights have come inside the Bellator MMA cage.
Right now, Borics holding on. He does not have what we would look for as a guillotine attempt. It's over the arms. There is no danger for Aaron Pico in this position right now. Right now, what Ádám Borics is doing is he's just slowing it down, holding on. But it's the one thing that I was talking about. At the end of that first round, I look at Ádám Borics as a very fast fighter, and his arms were getting heavy because you could see it when he threw his shots. It wasn't that same speed. He came out after the break, threw a couple punches, and the speed was back. How's he going to be if he has to continue to wrestle with
Up kicks from Borics, and Pico again putting his weight on the fighter from Hungary, fighting out of Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Pico wanting to show everyone. He told us that he's not one-dimensional. We know that, but here he is, definitely putting his wrestling, his high-level wrestling, on full display.
And it's so frustrating if you're Ádám Borics to get in this position where you get yourself up and he's immediately taking you back down. That is just humbling when you're that fighter that you work hard to get there, and now you're back on the mat.
Pico won U.S. junior titles in 3 wrestling disciplines, pursued the Olympics in 2016 as a 19-year-old in lieu of college. He reached the finals of the U.S. Olympic trials that year, but was defeated by Frank Molinaro, a former Division I champion who was 8 years older than Pico. And in addition to his wrestling prowess, he was both a junior Golden Gloves champion in boxing and a European pancration champion. You see why he was heavily hyped as a prospect.
Look at him. He was training with Freddie Roach for a long time. He was
with Miguel Cotto.
Miguel Cotto's sparring partner for his final championship fight.
And he does. And I know Cotto's not going to want to hear this, but I actually called Cotto's first and only loss in his home away from home here in Madison Square Garden against Austin Trout. And now we're, you know, again, this is where Pico suffered his first loss in his professional debut.
But This fight tonight, what I'm seeing, at least in the first half of this fight, Aaron Pico is fighting a very smart fight against a very, very good fighter in Ádám Borics. Look at him lacing that arm behind, trying to grab it with his left arm to hold on to it.
He is
everything he's doing. Take a look at the legs.
The offense of Borics.
He's got those brought up, figure four in the leg. Everything he's doing is right.
Borics, who has 3 triangle chokes, 2 rear naked chokes, submission victories, but again, went viral with that flying knee knockout of Theodore Nikolov. And Pico fully cognizant of his Thai boxing skills, those knee strikes, and just keeping Borics pinned against the cage, utilizing his oxygen-sucking wrestling.
And you see Borics not getting himself back to his feet because he doesn't want to take that big takedown because he knows that Pico's arms are locked around him.
Minute and a half remaining in the second round, and Borics is going to have to try to find a way to get back to his feet and create separation.
He does need to create separation.
Pico all over him like a spray tan.
He's got that good tan from Florida. Come on, man.
A minute 13 now left, and there's that head kick, and now there's the knee! There's the knee! Caught him! Borics just caught Pico with the knee! Borics defeats Aaron Pico! Mamma mia! Oh my God! What a comeback! And we talked about it! Ádám Borics! And that flying knee knockout, he does it again, John!
That's exactly how he did it. The last wrestler that he